Everybody who knows me knows I'm a big fan of open and honest words, even when the truth sometimes hurts. I way too often see too many people having too little time, too much stress, important work often remains undone, the quality of work often suffers, and I'm not even speaking about the private and personal stress and possibly running into a burnout. This video is about 15 productivity hacks for entrepreneurs. I have 13 years of experience as an entrepreneur myself and many years of experience in quality and process management before my actual design career that was about 20 years ago. And I learned so much in terms of productivity, time efficiency and time management. So this video is all about productivity hacks for entrepreneurs, and I will tell you what I implemented in my business and what really worked. First of all, you need to know the status quo. How much time per day do you spend on what kind of activity? How many minutes per day do you spend in meetings, with paid client work, with private distractions, etc., etc.? If you want to increase your productivity, you first need to know exactly how much time you need for which activity, down to the very minute. I personally track my time twice a year for 4 consecutive weeks. On a big notepad on my desk, I write down to the very minute exactly how much time I need for which kind of activity. The most important thing, you have to be relentlessly honest with yourself. Meaning, if you lose yourself on a website, you jump from link to link, or you lose yourself on social media and endlessly scroll down, you have to document that too. Don't worry, we all do that. But in the first step, it's only about documenting the status quo for 4 consecutive weeks without any emotional judgment. Once you have meticulously tracked your time for 4 consecutive weeks, the evaluation begins. I suggest to create categories like private social media, business social media, paid client work, unpaid client work, private distractions, organization, etc., etc. Add up all the minutes per category and take a very deep breath. Trust me, you will need it. Normally people have a big aha moment here because they see where their time really goes. And you also see how much time you invest on things that do bring money and how much time you invest on things that don't bring money. This will be a big game changer in your mind. Depending on the results of your time analysis, it can mean that you should look out for professionals that can do certain things better and faster than you. For example, we do an all-round carefree service for our website clients to help them increase their productivity. But of course, when speaking about delegating, you have to take into account time and money resources. What do I mean with that? If you, let's say, spend 2 hours per week on delegating, which saves you in the end 10 hours per week, this is very, very smart. However, if those 2 hours per week that you invest only save you 3 hours in the end, it's not that clever. Doing one task after the other with your full attention and focus is much more efficient and time effective rather than doing several tasks in parallel at the same time. Focus is always better than multitasking. Scientists found out that being distracted from one activity and focusing on another activity decreases brain performance by 20 to 40% when those tasks are done in parallel at the same time rather than sequentially one after the other, no matter how long the distraction lasts. So say goodbye to multitasking. You will be surprised how many hours per week or even per day you save in the end. Start your day with the most important task of the day before opening your emails, before opening your chat messages, before opening your social media platforms. What is an important task? A task that pays your rent and your food. Work several hours per day at the start of the day on this one project that drives revenue. Some people also call this deep work sessions. I personally like this wording very much because it really means maximum mental focus on one task that really drives revenue, and this is what it's all about. You will be surprised how much time you save at the end of the day. Schedule things in your private life as well as in your business life. Some people say spontaneous is best. Well, that might be true if you have so much free time that you don't know what to do with it. But to be very honest, you don't get things done that way. I always have to smile when I hear people say I do that spontaneously, because it's basically just an excuse For I don't want to commit to it. And secondly, it's not important enough for me because otherwise I would commit to it. And thirdly, the probability of something actually taking place is going down to almost zero. So plan things in, schedule things in your business life and in your private life. What often leads to frustration in private life often leads to less efficiency and less revenue in your professional life, in your business life. Schedule things in, from of course paid client work to internal organization to even strategy work for your business. And at this point it's also important to mention that sufficient buffer times have to be calculated in. Otherwise it won't be possible to stick to your schedule and to really implement it in your daily practice. Depending on the activity, I always add 20 to 40% of buffer time to every task. For many years, I made the mistake to really underestimate smart digital tools and made my life unnecessarily difficult. Use digital tools and automatizations wherever you can because you will save yourself a lot of time in your daily work. For example, we use Trello, including various automations for the internal organizations. We use Bilomat for order confirmations, invoices and automated payment reminders. We use Loom for briefly explaining things on the screen. Our clients love those Loom screen recordings. I use the Do Not Disturb mode on the phone with a telephone secretary attached to it. We use Calendly with Zoom integration. It really takes less than 1 minute to book a meeting with us. It's super fast and super easy. Our clients love that. We also use Dropbox with Smart Sync function for the entire data management and data transfers. We do scheduled login in our website dashboard, so we don't write one blog article per month. We write 3, 4 or 5 and then schedule them and do automated posting once a month. We also use Adobe Creative Cloud libraries, of course, and the mobile dictate function on the phone. What I personally benefited most from is that I create batches of similar tasks. What do I mean? I don't do tasks as they come in or as I like them to do. I sum up similar tasks into batches and then work on these batches one at a time. I give you an example from my daily practice. In scenario 1, I checked my emails, took 30 minutes, then I go into social media for 15 minutes, then I calculate an offer, takes 45 minutes, then I go back to my emails, again 15 minutes, then I spend 15 minutes on internal organization, I write a blog article, takes 2 hours, then I work 1 hour on paid client work, I again go back to my emails for 15 minutes, then I have an online meeting with a client that takes 1 hour, then I calculate the second offer of the day that takes 30 minutes, then I finalize the first blog article that I started writing before that takes another hour, then I have a phone call with a member of my team that takes 15 minutes, some internal organization, 15 minutes, again jumping back to my emails, 15 minutes, again jumping back into social media, 15 minutes. Then I write the second blog article of the day, takes me 2 hours. Then I go back into my emails again and I spend 15 minutes on that. All in all, I spent 11 hours here. How does scenario 2 look like? I start with paid client work for 1 hour. Then I calculate the first offer for 45 minutes. And as I'm already in calculation mode, I calculate the second offer as well. It takes me 15 minutes. Then I spend 15 minutes on internal organization. Then I have my online meeting with the client for 1 hour. Then I, for the first time of the day, check my emails, 30 minutes. Then I have a phone call with my team member, 15 minutes. Then I write 2 blog articles, number 1 and number 2, in one go. That takes 3 hours. Then I do my social media stuff that takes 30 minutes. Then for the second and last time of the day, I go back into my email program, 15 minutes. All in all, I spent only 7 hours and 45 minutes here. As you can see, in scenario 2, I saved 3 hours and 15 minutes in just one day. That sums up to 16 hours and 15 minutes in a week. So I save myself 2 full working days per week only because I block similar tasks into batches and do 1 batch at a time. And I check my emails only twice a day. Distractions via smartphone, chat services and social media want to tell us it's okay to always be online and jump after the latest trends, news or posting. What a lot of nonsense. This is the ultimate productivity killer. I really highly recommend to get rid of all your notifications on your devices. Don't underestimate the addictive factor of constantly being online. It robs valuable focus and it robs valuable time. To be precise, it robs 23 minutes per interruption according to a scientific study. You pay a very high price for constantly being online in terms of time and focus, and you don't get anything valuable back for that. Goodbye to notifications. It makes sense to unsubscribe from newsletters that you delete more often than you read them. So if you find out that you hit the delete button more often than the read button, toss it. There have never been so many ways to communicate, and yet there have never been so many misunderstandings and communication problems. Do you realize something? The quality of communication is going downhill, but the quantity of communication is going uphill. Yes, it's tempting to communicate via chat services like WhatsApp, but for business purpose, you really have many problems here, because a communication via chat is split into many small bits, many topics are opened up and not finished, a lot of information can be lost, and you don't have these problems when you communicate via email. Meetings are one of the biggest productivity killers ever. Usually they take up more time than they get things going, and they bind too many human and thus financial resources. Always block set times for meetings in advance. Never ever ever attend a spontaneous meeting. Never attend a meeting without a clear time and topic agenda. As far as the ability of problem solving is concerned, humanity is really divided into two groups. People that fight symptoms and people that fight causes. Yes, it's initially often more work and even uncomfortable to fight causes and to get to the root of a problem, but you will save yourself a lot of time and nerves in the middle and long run if you fight the causes and not the symptoms. You don't think that works? Think again. There are no problems. There are only solutions that you have not found yet. Question: are you an entrepreneur or the hospital emergency room? Honestly, how many urgent things in your everyday life are not urgent for your business, but urgent for other people who lack the ability to organize themselves? Is it your job to iron out other people's lack of organization? No, definitely not. I admit the truth sounds harsh sometimes, but it is crucial and very, very important to see things clearly for what they are and act accordingly. Reconsider your personal availability. A scientific study says that every interruption costs you 23 minutes of time to then be able to concentrate on the task that you did before the interruption, no matter how long the interruption lasts. The don't disturb mode on the phone can really help here, and you can also redirect your calls to an external secretary. Saying yes to the wrong things means saying no to the right things. Think about what you want and where you see yourself as an entrepreneur in future. However, this can be very uncomfortable, especially in your private life. I tell you a story that I went through. I'm a female entrepreneur living in quite a conservative region of Austria, in Tyrol, a region where I would say men and women are equal in theory, but not really in practice. Many people around me used to think or still think, oh, Helen is at home, she's in her home office anyway, she has time, I quickly call her or come round for a coffee in the middle of the day during the week. People didn't care about me having set office times and set private times. They just popped by. At the same time, mostly those people said to me, oh Helen, you earn so much money, you're so successful, you have such a great life. Well, guess why? Because I hang out for coffee with part-time entrepreneur moms on Wednesday afternoon? For sure not. You have to be consequent. Otherwise, you go to wreck and ruin, you harm your health and even your business. And I have to admit, it also cost me some friendships. You will not succeed and your business will not succeed unless you take it serious and you really commit yourself to it. Yes, I admit it's quite a mental effort to leave your comfort zone and enter new organizational spheres. But you will see your life will significantly improve. Your business life will improve, the quality of your work will improve, and also your clients will thank you in the end. And the quality of your private life will significantly improve too.